Virgo, what a beautiful week. The astrology is set for whatever it was that made you stuck, whatever it was that you were bottling or choking down and not saying or not wanting to think about has come up, probably tormented you, but absolutely liberated you. You have won the fight. You have succeeded in the debate. We're going to get into the astrology and, of course, the cards. Virgo, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Virgo sun, moon, and rising sign. Please take whatever I say in this message as it resonates in your life and apply it to where it resonates in your life. It's your reading. I always create an extended reading, and that link is in the description box below as well. I will pin it to the top of the comment section for your convenience. Remember, this comes to you at the time when you need to hear it. So the astrology does speak of when the energy drops, but when the ripples and waves of energy reach you is all dependent upon when you're ready to receive. You call this message in when you're ready to hear it, when you need to hear it, when you want to hear it, and when it's going to help your life. And this is a very helpful week for your life. The astrology is set to really create a catharsis, a complete and total finish and resolution so that it can wash away, not control you, not hurt you, not harm you anymore. The beginning of this week is still a little crunchy with the opposition to Uranus, making your brain brilliant, but also probably completely misunderstood. Very difficult to articulate everything that you are understanding when Uranus is in opposition to Mercury, because it's too brilliant. It's thinking too outside of the box. It doesn't mean you're wrong. In fact, I would say you are absolutely not wrong, but how to communicate it in a way that other people can understand it so you can get things done, which is always a goal for you. And that could be the major source of frustration was, why can't other people see this? Why can't other people catch up? Because it's not their time, and it's not on them. It's not their message. Everything comes with a difficulty and a challenge, and that's what the square to Saturn still is. The square to Saturn on Mercury is saying, yeah, it's your responsibility to figure this out. And it may suck, and you may have me or an authority figure breathing down your back and questioning everything. Oh, I don't understand it, I don't understand it. They're not just going to hand you the reins, because the real challenge is how to get them to understand so that they really change. They're not just forced, and you know how it feels when you're forced into a corner, but it doesn't feel right. And then bitterness and anger and upset. Well, you don't want any of that. That has to go. That has to end with Scorpio. And those hidden emotions, those hidden words, those things that you have swallowed, you've discovered, but maybe you didn't want to do anything with, or you didn't want anybody to hear about. All of those things are purposeful to enable you to really get to the nitty-gritty and deep down the root of the problem and fix things. And you may not have to announce this to the world, but with that Saturn square, there is at least one authority figure or parental figure, could be a father, could be a mother, or even just life itself and rules and regulations that are making this a challenge for you, because it's like, oh my God, wait a second, these rules and regulations are not correct. This authority figure is not right. I can see this, I have to change it, but in order to do that, my challenge is to inspire them and bring them up to speed to see and to make it clear why this is the good thing instead of the thing to be feared, because everybody fears change, and change is very difficult. Now, this authority figure could even be you yourself, knowing and seeing and getting these brilliant inspirations of purpose that come into your mind, and yet still being stuck in routine, in the comfort of that routine. Here's the good news. That square to Saturn, that challenge between Saturn and Mercury is dropping. By Sunday, Monday, and even into Tuesday, Mercury is going to be experiencing not only the conjunction to the sun, which gives you confidence and strength and more courage than you've had for a while. It's also getting closer and closer to Venus, so you feel luxurious, you feel sensual, and you feel like, I deserve the richness of this experience. All of this is it gets better. All of this is going to be amplified by the fact that both Jupiter and Neptune are trining Mercury at this time, and Pluto is sextile to Mercury. And Pluto, especially when Mercury is still in Scorpio, this is that double whammy of, we got things done here. We dug things up here. Let's make something happen with this. That primal urge and rage that is just going to push you out of whatever shell, contract, or obligation that you are stuck in, especially in Scorpio if it's emotional, and you can rise up. You can put it behind you. Those things that have hurt you for a long time and have been settling in your heart and have not found a place or a healing, maybe because you didn't even want to think about it. Not only have you thought about it, but you've worked through, you've talked it through, and you've found a purpose for it. Maybe to help others, maybe just to liberate yourself. But I can tell you that after Sunday, Monday of this coming week, you are going to feel so much lighter, so much freer, absolutely liberated, and finally, maybe for the first time in your life, you're going to actually get out and go somewhere. You're going to do something, because Mercury is going to end up in Sagittarius, conjunct to Venus, and you're going to be in the indulging mood. Look at the shit that I just went through. I am ready. Gonna go on vacation, gonna get my nails did. You're ready to expand, you're ready to grow with that trine to Jupiter that Mercury's been experiencing this whole time. It wants to put its bright ideas to work. It wants to see, it wants to experience tangibly. Let yourself do it. Let yourself grow. It's gonna be almost like you can't help yourself, and you shouldn't. Because it is one of the most beautiful times of the year for Mercury right now, especially those 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Absolutely beautiful energy where all of those rules, regulations, and challenges are off. You don't give a fuck. You got to the point where I don't know if it's rage, it's just that beast comes out and says, I am free. And you are. Free of that pain, free of that suffering. You let me know in the comments below how you're experiencing this energy, but I guarantee you it's absolutely beautiful. Sextile to Pluto, trine to Neptune and Mercury, conjunct Sun and Venus. Mercury is in such a beautiful spot. People will listen to you. They will believe you. They will understand you. It's like you found a way to get through. You found a way to communicate. And in doing so, you found a way to liberate yourself. Let's get into the cards. I know I went off on the astrology, but listen, the astrology is so beautiful. There's no way that I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into the cards though. This is growth and expansion because you've learned to let go. This is finally being able to... Frog teaches us, just like butterfly teaches us, there is a part of your life that is now finally behind you. And it's got to do, this is Cancerian energy, with the family. Finally being able to allow that emotion, since it's Cancerian energy, to go, to let it go. And I can tell you, I think it's exactly Sunday, when the moon is in Cancer and forms an opposition to Pluto, which is exactly when all this change and release is going to happen to you, because Pluto at the same time is sextile to Mercury. So you're going to be able to let it all out, especially when it comes to situations surrounding your family or your concerns for them, or even the family you've built, like motherhood. But I think it's really from your past, letting that shit go. It dropped. It's like it has no power over you anymore. And then here you are realizing that I can start fresh. I can start new. All these obligations over with, done. Life is gentler. I can be gentler. I don't have to carry the burden or carry the hatred or carry the anger of generations past. This is almost like relieving yourself of generational curses, relieving yourself of generational karma, feeling it end and knowing it doesn't have any power over you anymore. A complete and total ending of that experience, a liberation of the dharma that we come in with from the past life. And that's the hardest to work with, because in your life, like, karma is easier to understand because it's what the energy you surround yourself with in this life. So you have some tangible memory and experience with how you got where you are. But dharma is not the same, and that's what Pluto rules. So dharma is the energy that you have carried in and are still responsible for when you come into this life. And your soul has chosen this life for you to finish out that dharma and improve upon the soul. So that's very difficult, because the dharma we don't understand, because we don't have any conscious or even subconscious, maybe superconscious memory, but we don't have anything there. It's not there. We can feel it, it exists, but we don't understand it. We can't comprehend it. And you can't, and you gotta be accepting of it, let it go and say, you know what, this is real. But with that beautiful opposition to Uranus that happened, I think that's what'll give you the super consciousness that you need to really finish something off and do the actions that need to be done in order to complete that. And that's what you're really disposing of now, is that dharmic energy, that energy that you could only touch with faith. And because of that, you're really, really, really this is your birthday. Yeah, it's almost like, Virgo, this is your new birthday, because this is when you actually completely get to be authentically everything that you are, instead of what you had to deal with from the past. For those of you who are interested in knowing a little bit more, let me tell you really briefly. If you want to understand your past lives, then really focus on where Pluto is in your chart, how it's interacting with other planets, and your north and south node, and especially how Pluto and your north and south node may be interacting. Chiron will also help you understand a little bit of this too, but Chiron usually, since it's a little bit more interior, has to do more with karma and things that you've actually experienced, but it can give you hints as to what you believed based on not your experiences here, but your experiences from your past life. And the pain that you experience and the suffering and how you experience it could have more to do with where you came from, where your soul came from, and what it went through and what it needs to heal from, than what you've actually created or experienced in your conscious current existence. I hope that wasn't too much of a tangent for you guys. See the big picture. Bam! I'm telling you, this is especially when Mercury goes into Sagittarius. What is that, Wednesday? I think it happens, because Venus goes first and then Mercury follows. This is, you're finally able to the world isn't myopic anymore. It's almost like somebody took a cap off and you're like, what? For all this rush of sun comes in, right? And things are clear, and you can feel secure in planning ahead. Now, I know it's stereotype of Virgo, planning ahead, but you can actually feel like, oh, I can say this out loud and I don't have to worry that it won't get done. I know it'll get done, because the path is almost like I see there's horizon now. There's possibility now. There's potential now. This is really much the experience of Mercury going into Sagittarius from Scorpio, feeling muffled, being very investigative, going down those deep, dark pits of a hole with the private investigation. And now it's now I'm going to put all that I've learned to use in the wide world. What can I do with this information to make the world better? Because ultimately, Virgo is still a very healing energy. Always will be. But at least now there's oh my God, I can learn and I can enjoy this and I can experience growth. I'm not just sitting there dutiful to somebody else. I can actually grow and expand and inspire people. And I think that that's the real liberation for you, is the understanding that the only way you can really change someone is not to set up a strategy for them. It's to inspire them to either set up a strategy themselves or follow the strategy, because you really can't change anyone. Everybody, you know, like, but it's like your world just opened up. So it's like you finally see there's space for you now. There's space for your exploration and your enrichment and your education. And there's courage. And there's the intrepidatious personality that maybe is just like almost like a super high, that you can actually go out and get it now. Hold on. This is just the general energy. We still got to get into the details. And guys, I have a special announcement for you at the end of this video. FYI. Fox Spirit, think on your feet. This is Sagittarius energy. There will be curveballs come in, but there's also going to be dialogue coming. Sagittarius and Gemini create an axis on the zodiac, and they're extreme opposites, but they both deal with communications, being friendly, being social, and learning through conversations with other people. So this is like speaking points, talking points, having the words to say and share with people. This is also learning and education, especially about spiritual learning and education. But this is like, you know, academic learning and education. You may be going back to school because you're thinking or looking into the future, and now you have a game plan. It's like, oh, I know what I want, or I know what I want to teach. You could be deciding to become a teacher. This is that sense of, oh, now I know what to share with the wide world. I know how to expand people, and I know how to teach them that. It's like you've got all those bases covered. Now, of course, this could literally, like if you're just like looking at this specifically, communications of love and admiration coming in from some Sagittarius or from somebody that you didn't expect it to come in from, but finally really getting credit for helping people, like people finally seeing that you've helped them grow and helped them expand, and the acknowledgement of that and how good it makes you feel. You might be hesitant to accept it, because that could be the surprise. It's like the shock of, I've never felt this good, should I trust it? Yes, but trust it at your own time. Let it come in at your own time. You don't have to, like, if you don't feel comfortable with happiness because it hasn't happened for a while, then believe it, have faith in it, and let it absorb at the rate that you need or can allow it to absorb. The only thing I ask you to do is don't deny it, because I will guarantee you by the cards and the astrology, it is sincere. This happiness is not something that's there just to bait you or to mislead you or even teach you. It is yours to enjoy, because it is a fulfillment of a purpose. With that activity between Pluto and Mercury, I can tell you this is fulfillment of a purpose. This is, yes, I finally got what was really important completed. So you can trust it and just absorb it as you're willing. Dream the world into being. Bam, dude. What? I mean, this is, I can put my past and my pain in the past by the only way you really can, which is learning from it and transforming it. So your pain has now transformed into your ideas for the future, into your plan and strategy for the future. And with that trine between Mercury and Neptune, this is when you can really figure out those things that you thought were impossible, that made no sense. All of a sudden, there's harmony with them, and you'll have the brilliance to transform them into something that actually you can put into practical purpose. It's like you have everything where you need it to be able to really use it to the point where you feel fulfilled and you feel successful. That's just your general reading. Let's pull a moon card and then get into the specifics. Remember, guys, I'm going to break down for you the current situation, which I just did. If anything in the past comes out, it will be directly related to what's going on now. Nothing in the past has come out, and what's glorious about that is the past is fucking over and done. You're not scared of it. You're not worried about it. You're not sad about it. You've learned from it, and you're happily able to be something else at this point. So past is gone. The moon cards come out. Sagittarius season. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon Sagittarius. We actually have a new moon in Sagittarius that's coming up. That's on the November 23rd. But listen, this is luck, and this is the expansion that we already discussed. Seeing the bigger picture. It's almost like realizing you got a wider target. You're not so stuck. You know, you got so many. It means that you got so many other options now. that you didn't have before. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. We just experienced a full moon eclipse. So what blew up? What exploded? This card is coming up to say, think about it. There was something that was really tormenting you. It came to a head. You faced it. It kind of like was inevitable. The discomfort, all that discomfort. What was that? You feel free to leave in the comments below if you want. If not, that's fine. But it's got to do with something that came to a head around that full moon that you just experienced, that full moon eclipse on November 8th. You are good enough. Oh, bitch, please. This is Virgo energy. This is you. Yeah, it's you finally realizing, it's like not just realizing, which you normally do, which is cranial. Oh, no. This is you feel it in your soul. And I think that's why I love this for you, because it's the deep healing that you usually you avoid because you're so clever. You're so clever, you figure out a way around it and you make it sound intelligent, even though it really is just avoidance. Well, now you didn't avoid it. It was inevitable, and I think that maybe this full moon was really fucking hard on you in a good way, because what it did was made you realize, wow, it brought you to a point of complete cleansing where you can actually love your life and appreciate you. And it's almost like other people are realizing that too. Other people are seeing, wow, I don't need any more than this person in my life. I am good enough. That person, you, he, she is good enough. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. Especially when it comes to work. I gotta say, because of that Saturnian energy, I think somebody really raked you across the coals, and now you have, as much as they busted your balls, you have proven yourself and you have exceeded expectations. So that puts you in the driver's seat. But this time around, that driver's seat isn't, oh, how can I take control? It's, okay, now that I'm free and now that I have these resources, how can I just have more fun? How can I be happier? I'm allowed those things. It's like the stuck mindset of I'm only good for something if I'm doing something, if I'm working, if I have a purpose, or if I'm functional in somebody's life. That shit's like, fuck that. It's like, no, I'm good exploring the world, seeing new things. I just have so much more freedom. It's like you're realizing now that you are good enough to be actually happy. And you're allowing anything that is related to in your life now. There's space for it. Let's get some details. Virgo, I want the deets. Who is the main player in this? We have 3 of Pentacles, so it does have to do with work, but there's 3 people here, and maybe 3 women or friends. There's a sense of people really respecting and appreciating your work, and like your hard work is definitely recognized. King of Wands is here. There's a fire sign male that is impressed with your creativity, validates the value, and he may be making you an offer, want to work with you. It's almost like you did something better than the person who thought they were the expert at it. Or it just could be the fire sign male. Finally respecting your ass. Right? I don't want to be with that boring little Virgo. And it's like, bullshit. This is the best person that's ever walked into my fucking life. And then we have Wheel of Fortune. Oh, it all changes. It all changes. Because this was just a shit situation. Somebody was stealing something from you, or there was stealing or thievery or underhandedness that was leaving somebody completely broke, right? It's like somebody was undermining you and devaluing you and not giving you what you deserve. And that could be the government, that could be a person, but it is directly related to karma has come around, and your good karma of continuing to work and create and insist it rules. And all this is happening. I'm not even getting out to predictive. 9 of Wands, you will be, just like the astrology suggests, a little bit defensive and unable to believe that this is happening. Take your time with it. You got a lot of battle scars with this situation. And 8 of Cups is here saying that you had to leave a situation. You walked away. I think because you walked away and was like, fuck this, I don't need to take it anymore. And you trusted your emotions, threw pragmatism out and said, I don't like feeling this way. Fuck it. It is not fulfilling. You drained those cups, you walked away, you left a room, and now somebody realizes, holy crap, I need Virgo in my life. Finally sticking up for yourself and walking away from what really doesn't feel good, right? Now, we're going to get further into the future, predictive and specifics. Please join me for the extended reading. That link is right down below, and I hope you guys will join me for that. The announcement that I wanted to share with you guys is this, Virgo. Well, we got some cards out in the future, baby. The announcement that I wanted to share with you is this. In celebration of the milestone that Born Without Boundaries Tarot has just experienced, reaching 100,000 plus subscribers, and Astrology Motivation, which is my second YouTube channel. For those of you who didn't know that I had one, I have a second YouTube channel called Astrology Motivation, where I do daily tarot card readings and weekly astrology forecasts. Please join me daily over there for a live chat. It's so much fun. That's doing really well too. And so I'm so grateful, and I want to share my happiness with you. So for the first time ever in 3.5 years of doing this, I'm going to organize a live event in celebration of the 100,000 subscriber milestone. So it is going to be in March of 2023, around the spring equinox. It's going to be in Austin, Texas, USA, and there will be 2 ways to experience it. One, which is virtually from anywhere in the world and with a live chat where you can send in questions, or 2, live, to actually be there with me celebrating. It is going to feature a cleansing, healing, 1.5 hour long sound bath. Takes no physicality at all. It is really just vibrations cleaning you out and reharmonizing everything that you are. And then food and drink and meet and greet. And I cannot wait to meet each and every one of you. There will also be specific merch that's available just for that at discounted rates as part of the celebration. So there's going to be a lot of just fun stuff. It'll be about 3 hours long. I hope you can join me in person, but I definitely want you to join me virally. What I'm going to do is create a poll on the community feed. So please look for the poll on the community feed here on Born Without Boundaries Tarot. I want to get a head count, a general ballpark figure of who's interested in coming to be there, or who's interested in virtual. This is not a commitment at all. It's just going to give me a roundabout ballpark interest. So please look for that on the community feed. It'll be out around Friday or Saturday. Now, without any further ado, let's get to these 2 cards over in the extended. The link is below.